Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first Beatles Finds video of 2020. And I have some things to show you, but there are not many. Okay, I was going to wait a while till I got more, but I figured, nah, the year's rolling on. Let's get some new videos here. I deliberately used, as you can see, a microphone here because I like to drown out some of the ambient sound. You know, my lovely neighbor upstairs is taking a shower and walking around and doing things, and he's entitled, but we don't have to hear it, right? So we're going to start with the microphone on and trying to drown out some of the sound. And also what we're going to do is make this particular video with the autofocus on. And I have a reason that I'm doing that because I want to show you something really close up at one point here. So to start with, for Christmas, my girlfriend got me a bunch of shirts. So this is one of them, an Abbey Road shirt. You can't see it all here. I'll try to lean back a little bit. That's one thing, and a few more. She also got me this, which is something that's rather common, but I hadn't had it yet, and I asked for it. It's the Beatles Blu-ray for Help. Something like this is, it's a very, easy to get item. I mean, this is very common, but I just never picked it up. Did you ever have stuff like that? Stuff you say, well, I'll get to this eventually, but it's not anything that's really hard to find or anything that can't wait. So I'm surprised that this thing's been out for so long and I finally got around to getting it. So I like the way this has the lobby cards here. You have the actual movie lobby cards that went to theaters. And there we have the disc along with a booklet. I know a lot of you probably have this already. As I say, this is not something really rare or anything, but just look at some of the photos in the booklet that come with this. I always like the movie Help. I mean, I love A Hard Day's Night, and I love Help also. They're just very different kinds of movies. But Help is probably the movie I go to a lot because it's just so zany and wild and fun, and you know, uh, have a good time with this particular film. So there's that. Now, the next thing I'm going to show is probably what you'd call maybe the rarest of this particular video, or not sure about that. We'll see as we go to the end. Uh, this is actually a box of soap, and this is why I'm putting this on autofocus because I want the camera to be able to close in on that. As you can see there, new lotion formula. Okay, you got White Lux Beauty Soap with 6 cents off. Can you imagine that? 6 cents you get to save. Now, why do I have this damn thing? This is 2 bars of soap in here. You can see 2 bath bars included. And this is from 1966. The reason I have this, flip it around and you will see. It's because it actually advertises a special exciting offer. Okay, and you can see, take advantage of the focus here. It's for the 15-inch tall inflatable vinyl autographs, so to speak, Beetle dolls. Okay, folks. Okay, Weisenheimers, I'll save some of you the trouble. Okay, no, they're not sex dolls. No, they're not inflatable dolls. I mean, you got to say that because after all, we live in the 21st century. Right away, people's minds, zoop, that's where they go. So I'll save you the trouble, some of you out there. But no, this is really cool and it's in really good shape. Uh, a lot of you collectors out there know about these particular Beetle blow-up dolls. You put the air in them and they wind up becoming posable and you can stand them up and whatnot. I actually have to say that I had all 4 of these, a nice set of the 4 Beetle vinyl dolls. But the thing is, my story is that I don't have them anymore. But what happened was, 1978, I want to say, I went to a bazaar, a local bazaar where I was living at the time, and they actually had them in the wrapping for like $1 a piece, the 4 of them. So I bought for $4. I bought a set of 4. In 1978, I think that might have been a warehouse or something that was overstocked, that they still had 60 stock. You got to realize in 1978, these dolls were only like what, 12 years old or something. So they're not that old. They weren't that old. But eventually on eBay, I sold them way before I started my channel. Don't know why. Wish I hadn't, because they were in really great shape. But anyway, that's to me the most probably interesting item of this video from a collector's standpoint. And that's not even the reason that I'm really getting this autofocus thing in gear for this particular video. You'll see it later on as I go along. Now, what I'm showing here, cannot match the collectability of that. This is another copy of the Wings Wildlife album, and it's a reissue. I've got many copies of Wildlife, but this is the type of thing that I wouldn't bother with ordinarily. I mean, there's nothing special about this really, but the reason that I picked it up was because it's a Capitol reissue, but on the black label, there's just something about having this particular record on the black Capitol label. And some of us do collect labels and things, right? Variants. I thought that it would really be nice to have. And it was so cheap. I mean, you're talking about just a few dollars. I don't know if it was $3, $4, five tops. I mean, I have a bunch of Wildlife already on varying labels, and eventually Paul would be on the Columbia label, and it would be a red Columbia that you would wind up finding that album Wildlife on. All right, so this is next album, and I like that every Beatle except for poor Ringo is going to be represented in this video. This is an upgrade of sorts. George Harrison's 1975 album Extra Texture. Beautiful shrink wrap copy, great condition. Um, for those who don't know already, you have this inside inner cardboard sleeve where you could decide how you want to put his face, because you have these cutout letters, which is really, really cool. And you just decide which way you want to go. The cover is probably the best thing about this record. It's not a favorite of mine, although I do really like 3 of the songs on it quite a bit. So, all right, the last item I want to show you is interesting, and this is the reason, really, the main reason that I'm going with the autofocus for this particular video. It's a copy of John Lennon's Sometime in New York City album with Yoko Ono, but stick around because I'll show you why I consider this unusual. All right, I picked this up. Now, I don't usually like to collect promotional records. You see, well, this has the hole in there. A lot of times when they have that hole cut through, it usually means it's an early copy or a original copy or such. But even though it's promotional, it's kind of original or whatever it stands for. I just don't like collecting records like that. But what was interesting to me is, and I'll show you for those who don't know, that's the inside. John Lennon with the Elephants Memory Band and Yoko, of course. It comes with some extra items, which is still not the reason why I got this. I'm going to show you the very last thing here, the reason why. It's a double record set. You got the John and Yoko live record here, and of course, even original records sometimes came like that, or the scrunched up inner sleeve. But in addition to the 2 records, which is what I'm going to get to eventually, the thing I want to show you is an interesting alternate thing in the dead wax that I didn't know about. But let me first show you this copy also comes with the postcard and also this form. Justice for John and Yoko Committee. And you can read that if you want, if you can see it. Not all of it, of course, just a little bit. But anyway, let's get to the main reason why this caught my eye. I already have a nice copy of this, probably in better condition even. This is very good condition, but I think I have it even better condition with all the paraphernalia that goes inside of it. But what caught my eye was when I looked at the record to see the condition, and it's got the original label there. But what caught my eye on this, and this is in really good shape, by the way, was the dead wax. The first thing I noticed, and this is what I'm hoping the cameras are going to pick up here, is the dead wax has, very hard to see there, a lot of writing on there. Do you see? You're not going to be able to make the writing out. I'll tell you what it says, but just to see the focus on it, there's a lot of dead wax writing here. And I don't ever remember seeing this particular record with a lot of writing there like that in the dead wax. It goes on for quite some time. And there's not enough lighting in here to really read it, but it says pretty much, give me a second here. It says John and Yoko forever. Words to that effect. John and Yoko forever, 1972. Oh man, I don't have it handy right now. I wish I had more light in here. John and Yoko forever. Peace on Earth, Goodwill to Men and Women, 1972. Sorry it took so long. Hope you stuck around for that. But that's what it says, you know. Some words to that effect. Peace on Earth for all men and women. John and Yoko forever. And I never heard of that. And upon doing a little research after I got the record, I found out that original copies have this in it. So this is like pretty first press, I guess. Anyway, so that's it for this particular installment of New Beatles Finds. And I hope you all have a great new year, and will continue to watch my channel. Tell your Beatle friends about it. Take care.